Hello, fifth graders. Today we're going to work on dividing by two-digit numbers. In order to divide by two-digit numbers, it takes a little bit of estimating, a little bit of thinking. For example, if you are going to divide 209 by 36, you have to think to yourself, I don't know my 36s. I can't just rattle off 36 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 like we can with the numbers 1 through 9. We probably don't know our 36s. If you do, fantastic. But most of us probably don't, and that's okay. So I need you to think to yourself, 36 is between 30 and 40, okay? We know that on the number line, 36 is between 30 and 40. 30 goes into 206 times because 30 times 6 equals 180. 40 goes into 205 times. So I know that my answer is going to be somewhere between 5 and 6. So let's guess. Let's say 36. The only way to know is just to either guess 5 or 6. So 36 times 6. Let's start there. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. Write the 6, carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. Okay, so is this going to work? Because it's too big. It's bigger than my quotient here, so I know that my answer has to be 5. Now, I'm not going to erase my work because I might need it later, especially if my number is really big and I have to divide more than once. If you're only doing the division stuff once, it's not as important, but as our numbers get really, really big, and we have to divide more than once, it is super important to keep our work and don't erase it. Don't be ashamed of guessing the wrong number. That's totally fine. Plus, if you do make a mistake and you have to go back and fix it, if you have your work right there, it's so much easier. So again, never erase your work. So let's take 36 times 5, and I know that 5 times 6 is 30. Write my 0, carry my 3. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 3 is 18. So we get 180. So I'm going to write that answer right down here. Subtract 9 minus 0 is 9, and then 2. So I get 29. Now that might seem like a really big remainder, but it's okay because my divisor is 36. So it's okay if my remainder is 29. That's perfectly fine. As long as it's smaller than the number we're dividing by, then we're good. Now, we never finish without checking our work. So to check our work, all you have to do is multiply your quotient times your divisor, and then add your remainder. So my answer is going to be 36 times 5, which is 180, plus my remainder of 29, and that should equal my dividend. 9 plus nothing is 9, 8 plus 2 is 10, so I get 209. I get my same answer, so I'm good to go. It is essential to remember to check your work, especially on these really big problems. Take your divisor times your quotient, and the answer should equal your dividend. You might, if you have a remainder, then you have to, over here, before you get your dividend, you have to add the remainder. Okay? All right. Let's do one more problem. Please do this problem with me, okay? In your math journals, write down 8,791 divided by 82. All right, so let's think to ourselves. 82, it should say 82. Silly Bitmoji. 82 is pretty close to 80, right? 82 is really, really close to 80. So how many times does 80 doesn't go into 8, but 80 does go into 87. And I know that 82 is smaller than 87, so I don't even need to do any extra work because it's just times 1. And I know because of the identity property that any number times 1 equals the same number. So 1 times 82 is 82. I subtract and get a remainder of 5. Is 5 smaller than 82? Of course it is. Now I'm going to bring down my 9. How many times does 82 go into 59? Well, 0. 82 is bigger than 59. If I have 59 cookies and 82 people don't get a whole cookie, do they? No, it's 0. So I can write down 0, and then I would have a remainder of 59. Next step is to bring down my 1, because my remainder 59 is smaller than 82. Even though my remainder is 59, that's a big number, it's still smaller than my divisor. So I bring down my 1. Now here's where the thinking part comes in. Okay, now if I'm going to divide by 80, since 82 is close to 80, I'm going to round to get an estimate. About how many times does 80 go into 591? About how many times does 8 go into 59? 8 goes into 59 7 times. Hopefully you said 7. Because 7 times 8 is 56. So let's guess 7 and see how that works out. So 82 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Write down the 4. Carry the 1. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 1 is 57. It's 574. Does that look close to 591? It does. Let's try it. Let's put a 7 right here above my 1. And then when I multiplied it out, I got 574. Now, I always have to subtract and double check to make sure that my remainder is smaller than my divisor. All right, we're going to have to borrow. 11 minus 4 equals 7. 8 minus 7 equals 1. And 5 minus 5 is 0. 17 smaller than 82? Of course it is. We're doing great. Do I have any more numbers to bring down? No. So my answer, I can't forget to put the remainder, 17. Okay, so my answer is 107, remainder 17. But I can't forget my last step is to check. So to check it, I take my 107 and I'm going to multiply that times 82. Now I'm going to take 2 times 7 is 14. Write the 4, carry the 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now write the 0 because it's not times 8, it's times 80. Make mama happy. 8 times 7 is 56. Write the 6, carry the 5. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. And 8 times 1 is 8. Let's add these up. You get 4, 7, 7, 8. Uh-oh, that doesn't match up. What did I forget? To add the remainder. So let's take our answer plus our remainder of 17. 7 plus 4 is 11. Write the 1, carry the 1. 7 plus 2 is 9. 7, 8. So now does 8,791 equal 8,791? It does, and I am good to go. Here's just a couple of quick reminders. Please put these in your math journal. It's okay if your first guess is wrong. It's okay if you guess that you're dividing by 5, but you're actually dividing by 6. That's fine. We take our guesses, and we should have a relatively close guess, but it's okay if we're a little bit off. Never, ever, ever erase your work. It's a big no-no in this class. Don't erase your work. Be sure your remainder is smaller than your divisor. Your remainder can be big, but it has to be smaller than the divisor. And then always check your work by multiplying the divisor times the quotient and then add the remainder. Okay, it should say in there and add the remainder. If you are correct, then your product plus your remainder equals your dividend. Okay, we will practice this tomorrow and I will see you then. Bye, 5th graders.